It's everybody's favorite day in Cleveland. It's draft day. It's the second annual Locked On Guardians Prospect Draft, where we try to draft the best team of Guardians prospects and see who can build a better team.
You are Locked On Guardians, your daily podcast on the Cleveland Guardians, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. And before anyone comes at me about Chase DeLauder, Danny Duffy hasn't played in the majors in 2 years, so let's slow it down. And spring training, again, if spring training mattered, Yu Chen Chang would be on his 5th All-Star game. So let's just slow our roll.
Let people have fun, dang it.
Well, it's not about not having fun. It's about these people insisting or think. I mean, we had someone come in our comments and be like, your perceived favorites, did they not see my response to the Florial trade where I got hammered because I hated it? Or my comments through the years about Ty Freeman being overrated? It's very the pick and choose and the anger in the comments. I'm not having favorites here. What I'm doing is looking at this the way I look every year, which is you come to the show for analysis. We're not a fanboy podcast. You can go listen to Locked On Astros if you want that. I'll take the shot across the bow. We're an analysis-based podcast. I look at how it plays out every year. I've done almost 1,200 of these episodes. This is my 4th spring training doing it every single day. And it just annoys me when someone's like, I don't even think they're watching, or I don't think they're paying attention, or they have favorites. It's like, no, you're just not. Aaron Fry,
everybody
thank you for being an everydayer, but
you
clearly are not, because you're missing out on most of our takes. So I can't say you're an everydayer. I can say thank you to like Bruce, who gets mad at us by an everydayer because he's in the comments. But it's that annoyance of it where people like to take shots, and it's like 1,200 episodes watching these games, watching the analysis, seeing how this team reacts to things, seeing how they. Sometimes I'm wrong. I did not expect Bybee. I did not expect Williams, but those are things that logically made sense. Getting excited about spring training to the point where you really think that this is going to change a team's mindset is where that line is crossed. So, yeah, I'm coming in hot and annoyed for this draft. I'm going to be really trying to hose you just to have some fun.
I'll just say I thought that the home run off of Duffy was notable. Guy with left-handed major league success, and then he had a single.
He is cooked beyond cooked. He will face better lefties this year than Danny Duffy in spring training, I would bet. Danny Duffy has nothing left in the tank.
I said it was notable. I think it's notable.
I mean, this is like when that guy made contact off of Trevor Bauer, who hadn't played in like 10 years in baseball.
I think that's a little over. That's a little hyperbole.
It is a little hyperbole, but still, it's like,
on that note,
him getting hit off of Haney,
downhill from here.
Him getting hit off of Haney is fine. That is good. That is positive signs. Duffy doesn't matter.
Okay, but in that case, he should hit a home run off Duffy, and he did.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, he's showing that. I mean, he's showing development. Yes, but like, let's not act like this is Danny Duffy of like. Notable. I mean.
Let's get to
I bet most of the AA team could hit a home run off Danny Duffy right now. Let's just put it that way.
We'll see based on who we draft. Every time we draft a hitter, let's see if they'll hit a home run off Danny Duffy. That'll be
anyone they take in the first round could hit a home run off Danny Duffy. Look at his stats the last 2 years in the minors. He has no command. He has no control. He can't spot. It's bad.
It's bash Danny Duffy
injury. Age and injury have played their toll. He was awesome. Well, he was very solid once, but it just. Injuries.
It's bash Danny. We've spent 5 minutes on Danny Duffy. We didn't need to go there. Yeah. Let's take a look at last year's draft and laugh at ourselves a little bit. We know you hosed me on the yeah. He took team injury. You had let's see, Espino and Morris, who were all out last year. You had DeLauder, who was out half the year. You had Angel Martinez had a rough year. Gabriel Rodriguez had a bad year.
I mean, I got team spring for all these people like you're a hater. It's like I drafted all of the spring training success stories from this year.
You did. I had a terrible offense. I mean, I had Petey Halpin, who didn't hit well last year. I took Antunes on a late flyer. Brito was my best hitter in theory. Valero was hurt. Rocchio had an okay year. Pitching was great. 3 of my 5 starters last year made the major league debuts, and then Justin Campbell got hurt, and in theory is hurt again. And then I took Leftwich, who had a kind of a down year, and Well, your other reliever turned into a starter. Your other reliever made the majors. I had two relievers that were pretty good. The back half of your pitching staff was good.
It shows how much relievers shift. Like, yeah, they added Cade Smith, but like we talk about like how important Alaman is now and stuff like that, and some of the relievers. It's like relievers are very flammable, even when it comes to prospects.
Yeah. All right. So here's the rules. Obviously, we're going to draft the best team. We're going to fill out all the spots in the lineup, including a utility spot, which is essentially DH. We'll pick 5 starters. We'll pick 2 relievers, and we're not going to go in a snake this year. We're just going to alternate every other year. So Jeff can't hose me again on taking Ralphie Velasquez and Cal Manzardo or whatever.
So how are we? I'm confused. We're not snaking.
Well, it's every other. Like last year, you got back-to-back picks. Remember what 1-2, 1-1, yeah. So this year it's just every other. And all right, we're gonna do this by random.
I guess I'm confused. Now I'm confused. So it's like I pick
one. It's every other pick. Yes, it's every other pick.
But then whoever's picking first has a massive advantage. I think I'm going to argue we should use snake because otherwise it's a massive advantage to the person picking.
So you're saying like if I go second, I should pick 2 in a row?
Yes. So it's going to balance it out. Otherwise, it's a massive advantage to the person picking first because then they always get the first pick.
All right. Well, who do you want in the random? What do you want in the random number generator? Do you want evens or odds?
Odds.
All right. 1 to 100 on the random number generator. You want odds? 69. So it was the number. So
I'm going to blame that. I'm going to blame talking on TB earlier is how that came out.
I think it is. All right. Here we go, Jeff. Make your
No, I'm kidding. Velasquez. I mean, Ralphie is the only like top 30 catcher. So you and I both knew whoever had one was taking Ralphie and putting him in catcher, and he's a top 5 prospect. Back to when we had, if anyone were being too homery or being too sunny sided with it, let's talk about how he's potential, plus hit, plus power.
And you're going to keep him a catcher because we both think there's a chance that he does not.
Can you not hear me?
No. I think the question is, are you going to keep Ralphie a catcher?
Until he can't. I know we had a second of technical difficulties, curse of Danny Duffy. Just wanted to throw back to when Jeff Ponce was on. If you think we're being a homer, talked about how he could have the best hit, best power in the system. So keep him a catcher till he can't.
Fair enough. All right. Well, catcher is a rough spot, but I don't know. I shouldn't trust you to not mess with me again, but I think the obvious thing for me to do here is go with Manzardo. He's easily the safest offensive prospect in the system, the best bat. I mean, does the Lauder have more upside than Manzardo? Probably, because he's not a first baseman, but Manzardo, I think, combines the most upside with the safest floor. So I'm going to take a sure bat at first base, considering my offense last year stunk. So I get 2 picks in a row then, don't I, if we're doing you said that? Well, in that case, I'm just going to go for it then. I'm going to take the Lauder with my second pick because if Manzardo is the safest offensive prospect in the system, DeLauder is the highest upside offensive prospect in the system, not named Ralphie. So easy for me to just build around there. I saw a lot of people today talking about the home run he hit off as well, saying, oh, his swing looks so smooth or whatever. And then some people were saying, well, I don't care how weird a swing looks. I don't think it's the swing so much itself. It's like, yeah, he cuts himself off at the end, so it looks unnatural. The real issue with his swing is it's the hips that fire early. His hips fire early and leaves him susceptible to off-speed stuff. And it also is going to we think it's going to be a misuse against velocity. But, it works until it doesn't.
What Danny Duffy doesn't have, velocity.
Fair enough. All right. So you have back-to-back picks now? Is that what
I'm So I'm going to take Joey Cantillo with one of these because pitching in the system is kind of weak. And I do like Cantillo quite a bit. We've heard a lot of good stories. He should pitch in the big leagues at some point this year. So I'm going to take Cantillo. This is where it gets so weird because, I don't love the system at this point. In terms of a year ago, we could go 3-4 rounds of top talent. But I think at this point, I got to take Juan Brito. I think he is... Put him at second base. I'm going for team no defense this year. But he is, to me, the top prospect left because I am kind of terrified. The question is, who's going to draft Espino? I think we're both terrified of him.
Yeah, that could not end up very well. Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like I can't take him almost because of team injury and me not wanting to jinx it.
Yeah, don't do that again to him. All right, we got a lot more picks to come. I'm 2 in, Jeff's 3 in, and I got 2 coming up here. Let's see if I can get a pitcher. We'll get all into that on the rest of today's episode.
And our first fantastic sponsor are the good people over at PrizePicks. Football season may be over, but the action on the floor is heating up. Whether it's tournament season or the fight for playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get your excitement with PrizePicks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. We've talked about before, the nerd in me loves the fact that you can pick an ogre, I believe it is, and those are tough ones that can have up to 100 times payout, or you can go for an easier goblin. We know that those are much easier in any video game you've ever played, where you have a chance to build up that win streak. They even offer injury insurance, so your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For basketball games, if you have a player who exits in the first half and does not return the second, the player projection won't count against you, and the rest of your entry stays alive. Check out PrizePicks for yourself. Head over to prizepicks.com, download the app, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB, one word, all lowercase, for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Gotta say, speaking of easy, I think my team so far is going to win a popularity contest. We're going to ask fans to vote on the best team. I think just having Manzardo and Delauder already puts me in fan-friendly territory, even if it's not necessarily the best team.
You've already won that. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. I probably need to go with the pitcher here because pitching is so bad at this point. Like, we think Campbell is likely has an injury.
It's always interesting that people telling me, like, I had someone tell me don't extend Bybee because this is a pitching factory. I'm like,
extend him right now. Tomorrow.
I was like, it has been, but also like it has also not been. Like, you can't count on it. The well never running dry. And right now in the upper minors, it's dry.
Yeah,
so dry.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm afraid to go with Spino. I don't want to go with some other pitchers just yet. So I'm going to go another high stakes pitcher here with my next pick, and I'm going to go with Alex Clemmy just because I think he does have number 2 upside. I don't want to say ace because that's unfair, but I think he has top of the rotation upside. The fastball and the slider are super exciting. When I saw him in Arizona, man, he is just all arms and legs. He's huge. He's deceptive. He's fun. I don't think we'll see him at Lynchburg this year, but with the new roster rules, maybe we will at some point. I don't know. I think he has the highest upside right now in the system as far as pitchers go. If you
could have waited on him. I'll be honest. He would have been about my 5th lefty.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to go for, I don't know. I guess there's a strategy to this, but I don't know. I'm going to go with Welbin Francisco with my next pick and put him at second base because when I talk about high upside offensive players, there's a lot of upside there. And as far as complex league stats go, he has not been out of the DSL yet. So there's still a very high bust rate here. But there's a lot of people you and I both trust that are very high on him. The batted ball data is supposedly good. So I'm willing to swing big and take a high upside guy here early, even though, like you said, I could have waited on both these guys because they maybe weren't on top of your list. But I'm going with the team that I think I like the most in terms of throughout the system. I'm shooting for the moon right here.
I feel like rumors are affecting Espino here. But okay, I'm going to start with Will Dion because again, pitching is weak in this system, and we both like Will Dion, and we think he's a guy who could perform well. And then I'm going to go pitching again because again, pitching across the system is not strong. There's more bats than pitchers in the top 15 prospects. So this comes down to, okay, I guess I'm just going to. Last year, everyone talked about how much they liked it when I hosed you. I guess it's time to hose Daniel Espino. Like, he's there. If he's healthy, this is a steal. If he's hurt again, this is 100% my fault. I have a highlighted list to my right, and I highlighted another player. I'm gonna have to unhighlight him and change the color. But yeah, I'm taking the risk. That's even with there's been rumors with his health. again, but listen, I'm not going to let a rumor chase me from a guy who is the top pitcher in this minor league baseball if he's healthy. I mean, we're already like this. It's my 5th pick. Like, I don't know. It's time to gamble.
All right. I like it. No, I like it. I think that's good. That's a dangerous rotation right
so
there.
Now you don't have to take him. That's why you like it.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I can have a high bust rate too on pitchers because really, honestly, at this point, like there's the Campbell injury issue, and then there's a bunch of lefties that are interesting. Like there's nobody left in the pitching factory right now on the board that I have that like I feel super confident about. Like Messick's
I have one more target. I have 2 more targets I really like.
I have 2. I have 3, I think, maybe even 4, but they're not super top of the chain. That's my only concern is where I'm at. So I only have 1 pitcher so far. You don't have any outfield yet. I could really hose you with the outfield. I got 2 picks in a row. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to deplete your outfield options, and I'm going to go with Jason Chourio as my next outfielder. So the outfield group for you is going to be real rough. It's going to be interesting to see what he does this year because it's going to be his first full season at a non-complex league level. So there could be some growing pains for him this year in theory, but I'm excited about the upside too. And when I saw him in Arizona, he looked like he filled out physically a little bit. So that's potentially exciting.
I strongly considered him with my last picks.
Yeah, well, because the outfield group after him is not, there's still some upside there, but it's not great. All right. So I think for my 6th pick here, I'm trying to look at what your roster looks like. I don't have any pitching yet. I have Clemmy, but I went pitching heavy last year and it worked out really not so great for me. So maybe I should get some more balance here, but there's enough guys left here. I think I won't do it. So give me Ryan Webb here because we both really like Ryan Webb.
That's who I almost took last time. That was the guy I had highlighted and then unhighlighted.
Yeah, if there's another guy I feel like is going to come through the Guardians pitching factory and he comes from the 2021 draft class, like I think it's going to be Webb. He's going to be 3 years out of Tommy John this coming season, and he's a little bit older, so they need to figure out like what they're going to do with him. He'll be in Akron. This is a big year for Webb, and I'm excited to see what he can do at AA and get some upper level competition. He did lead the league. He did lead the AFL in strikeouts. That's saying something for a pitcher.
Well, I feel like it's kind of weird, but again, I gotta do I go? I have some guys I really like, and I'm just kind of debating some things. But I think I have to take Rocchio at this point, just in terms of value as a shortstop. I know there's lots of shortstops, but he's just my highest rated player by a significant margin. So I got to put him here, and then I'm going to take as a center fielder Khalil Watson because I think that's his future.
Ooh, that's fun.
And I've talked about that a lot of times, and there's not a lot of ton of great outfielders. I've been high on him since his draft year. If this is the guy you want to accuse me of playing favorites with, it's Watson. But I like the tools. I like the arm. I think that could be his better future. It's a lot of risk, but I'll take that risk here.
Yeah, your team so far is mostly safe outside of I guess Ralphie's not totally safe, but aside of Spino, you have a pretty good floor here. So Watson's a nice upside swing. I am curious to see what it looks like for him if he gets to play more center field because we've seen some guys get free of those shortstop responsibilities and kind of thrive offensively. Remember when Oscar Mercado, I know he didn't really last very long, but Mercado got moved off shortstop and all of a sudden the offensive game blossomed. I would kind of wonder if we can see something similar with Watson, but it sounds like he's going to bounce back and forth this year. But I'd really like to see him just throw him in the outfield and leave him be there. All right, I got 2 picks here before we move on to the final segment of the show. I don't have a third baseman. I could use another pitcher. I could just grab all the outfielders and just leave you stranded there. Although I think I'm going to go with the guy who's having a hot camp. Everyone's talking about him right now for my next pick. I'm going to go with Martinez, and I'm going to put him at third base because
you're really trying to win the popularity contest. I've already lost the vote. We might as well not even post the vote. I've already lost
this draft is already over. I think that's where it's going to go.
Yeah, I can't win.
Yeah, I was saying though, like, remember the year that everybody dropped Bo Naylor on their prospect boards because he had a 4 year coming off the pandemic. I think. Yeah, but I think Martinez is in the same boat. I think Martinez, people are dropping him off a little bit after a down year last year, and Naylor rebounded big time last 2022. I think Martinez could have the same sort of rebound. And then
I did the write up of Prospects Live, and I'll say like a lot of those things you look for like, the way he's attacking the ball, his rate data, it went very poorly. So like I did drop him, but I'll say like if you really dig into the numbers, he needs a kind of a big turnaround to be a different guy than he was. So but hopefully that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, he did make some changes offensively, so I think that's what's happening here. I'm going to wait on outfield just to see what you do at this point because there's so many people left. I'm going to dig into the relief pool, and I'm going to take Andrew Walters and get him off the board because there's a non-zero chance that Andrew Walters is up at the end of the season. Now, if that happens,
I think he will be. I think he will.
That means I think that happens. That means things went pretty wrong.
Yeah,
but also
things went well.
Unless you're trying to add something like that to your bullpen for a postseason run. All right, Jeff has yet to get a reliever. He has He has one outfielder, a converted outfielder. This could be a mess to end the show. So we're going to finish up the draft.
I've got some plans
on the other side. Yeah, you better hope. If you want to see any of these prospects, whether they're going to be playing Akron, Columbus, Lake County, Cleveland at some point, don't worry about stressing out about buying tickets ahead of time. It'll probably be a zoo going to Akron to see Chase DeLauder this year at points. But the Gametime app takes out all the frustrating ticket buying experience. I use this app personally. I got those Cavs tickets I went to a week ago for the Kelsey Brothers bobblehead thing when I got them for Christmas for my wife. And they were a hot ticket then. They were a hot ticket at the end as well. And it was a really good buying experience for me. I got to see the price out the door. Didn't have to worry about, selecting $20 tickets. And all of a sudden I was paying $100 for 2 tickets because I didn't know where the prices came from. I got to see the view from their seats, which was great. If you want to wait till the last minute, Gametime is definitely the way to do that. And they have the lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, and with the Gametime guarantee, if you do find tickets in the same section or row for less, Gametime is going to credit you 110% of the difference. So not only are you getting a good deal, if you find cheaper tickets, you can also, make money back off of that. And you can wait till the last second without stressing about buying. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app. And if you're a new user, great offer. If you haven't used Gametime yet, maybe buy some tickets to something you want to go see. Use our code LOCKED ON for $20 off that first purchase. It's LOCKEDON to redeem that code once you download the app and create your account for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Guaranteed Jeff needs an outfielder this round.
No outfielder.
Oh, that is risky, my friend. Okay, what do you got?
I'm going pitching. Because again, I don't love the system. When I look at my situation for this, and I look at like my top 16 or so, or even my top 20, I've got only 2 starters left in my top 20. So I'm going to grab them both, not counting Justin Campbell, who neither of us think is going to play this year. So I'm going to grab Messick and Carver.
You took my guy, Ross Carver.
I did, but tell
everybody why you're taking him.
I have him at 21. The nice thing about Ross Carver is every time someone goes to see him, we seem to get a positive report. Every time someone goes and wants to talk, I call it the Logan Allen effect because it's what I first encountered with Logan Allen, where guys who people want to talk about, guys that people want to bring up by name or are always on people's lips, that stands out to me. And Ross Carver is that guy. Everyone's got I remember last year when it was, who was it? Was it Matt Thompson at Prospects Live? Who was like, hey, I was just sitting with a scout and he was gave us a Ross Carver comp randomly. It's fun things like that. People really see him and they come away impressed.
Yeah, there were some iffy reports on him from the AFL at some points, but he had some good time out there. I think the guy is just one tweak away from being a legitimate. I think he is a legitimate pitching prospect, but I think he could be someone to pay attention to even more so with just some tweaks. And I think his health last year played a part in him not having the best season in terms of.
And this is where I hose you because we've talked about pitching and I've really hammered on it. So
Yeah, I've only got 2, so those top 2 are gone. I guess. Yeah, I've got to go pitching here.
I mean, you don't. I mean,
sure.
Or you can just wait because I'm not taking any more starters. Again, not to give you strategy, but to give you some strategy.
Yeah, I probably will wait if I'm being honest. If that's the case, I don't have a shortstop yet. I think at this point I could go Jose Tena, but I'm not really loving the upside there. So I'm going to keep trying to win the popularity contest with the diehards, and I'm going to go with Rafael Ramirez Jr. I think there's a good chance he's going to outgrow the position.
Yeah, I was almost half tempted to draft him as an outfielder or a third
baseman.
baseman.
I mean, or third base, but and there's a high bust rate here too because he could strike out like crazy at Lynchburg this year because there are some swing and miss issues. But the batted ball data is interesting. He does pull the ball a lot. He hits fly balls. That's what you want, and he has the size to grow into some power. So I'm going to go high upside again here too. I'm going with the all upside team this year. It's wild. Do I want to mess with you on outfielders or do I want to mess with you on relievers? I could go 2 ways here. I'll wait on the outfielders. I'll cut you a break. But where I won't cut you a break is I'm going to go with friend of the show, Tim Herron. I think Herron is due for a big year. Now that he's got his feet wet in the big leagues, he should make the pen out of spring training because of the injuries. But I just think the stuff is incredibly nasty, and he's so big. And Cleveland had success with turning Sam Hentges into a weapon. It wouldn't surprise me if they do the same thing with Tim Herron. So there's still a lot of good relievers left. So I didn't necessarily have to do that, but that's the one thing Cleveland does boast right now is there's some interesting relief prospects. So, yeah. So
I'm going to start off with an outfielder, and I'm going to take Cooper Engel. Was one of his most commonly played positions in college. 68 games at catcher, 36 games in the outfield. I'm going to line him up in the outfield. He has a lot of experience at that position.
That does hurt me quite a bit because there are so many catchers in this system to choose from at this point. All right.
And
do you think he sticks a cat? Do you think he doesn't stick a catcher by doing that? Is that what you're trying to say?
I mean, I don't know. He's not the Guardians' traditional catcher type. Like, I don't know if he's the high defense utility man, Johnny Tincher. I'm kidding. So, I'm debating a few ways, but I'm going to go with another recent draft pick, a guy I liked that they might have overpaid for. But Alex Mooney, I think he's got the arm to play third. I don't have a third baseman.
Okay.
Shortstop third, like the one thing he has is arm strength. He was a guy I loved coming out of high school where like all the advanced data showed power, and he hasn't shown that yet really through college. So I'm going to take a little bit of an off the beaten trail, but I'm certainly going draft heavy now with Velasquez, Mooney, and Engel. But I think there's more to be found there for the draft eligible sophomore.
Yeah, I would agree with you as well. I'm excited to see what he does this year. I mean, Cleveland obviously likes him with the money they gave him out there. All right, so I got to fill out my outfield a little bit, but I think I can wait. We've got to really hustle to end this. We might have to cut some of our superlatives. Jeez. All right, I'm going to go with finally fill out outfield. I'm going to go with Jake Fox to finish my outfield. I think he can stick in center field now. I'm pretty confident about that. I like Fox. And then with my next pick, I'll take all the upside. I'm going to take Jacob Zibin. I'm excited to see what he can do. Another guy like Mooney, they gave a lot of money to. And
do you think he's going to pitch a lot this year?
I think so. I think I saw him throwing in the backfield. He looked fine. So I think he's ready to play.
So they need a first baseman, a left fielder, and a utility player, as well as 2 relievers.
Just rapid fire.
Yes, sorry. Outfielder, CJ Kafis. I'll go more in the draft. It came down to Kafis, which, again, position he played in college, maybe not as well known as, more of a, we'll put Kafis at first base. There's no first baseman, so let's just put him there. It's a very weak system for first baseman, so I'm going to take him and put him at first base. Have him lined up in that position. And then can I take Leftwich as a reliever?
Sure. I'll allow it.
I think that's
over better relievers, but okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I know I am, but like the other ones, you can't take Franco Alomar as a starter. So it came down to like Sharp, Leftwich, or Kate Smith.
Fair.
So I think Leftwich could end up the best of that grouping.
It's possible. All right, I will throw in get my catcher here. I'll take Cody Huff at catcher because he's the next best catching prospect in the system. Great defensive prospect there. And then pitcher, I'll go all more upside. I'll go with Jackson Humphreys. I go with the all youth here for the most part.
So I need utility, DH, and outfield. So I mean, I guess
you're set it out. Oh yeah, you don't have an outfield. Go ahead.
Utility, I'll take Knapsack. There's some. I'm being everyone from last year's draft, but we know like some advanced data people like Knapsack and some of the stuff. Utility guy, a lot of fun in terms of that. And then just DH. We're doing DH, right? Did I see that? No, we're not doing
utility. That's your utility.
So then I have Knapsack, so we're not doing a DH. So then I want to think about the outfield, so I'll just take Alaman. Make it simple. Everyone knows he's the number 2 reliever for the most part out there. There is questions.
Does he get up? Does he get up this year before?
I think so, because they got to add him anyways, right? Like that's their MO.
True. Yes, true. All right, so I need a starter and a utility guy still as well.
And then I come back with the final.
Yeah, I'm going to go with utility. I'm going to take Diane Frias. I still love Frias' upside.
Good call.
He can play around this in the infield, and I think he's got sneaky pop. Really underrated too. And then final starting pitcher. I think he goes the bullpen, but give me Hunter Gaddis. I don't know. There's some rumors about how he was tipping his pitchers last year, and he has supposedly worked that out. And I love the changeup. So Gaddis is still a prospect. I'll take Gaddis for my final rotation spot.
And how things have changed in a year. Final pick in the entire draft, George Valera. I have an outfield spot left, and he is still there. I know he's hurt. Team injury lives on. But it's like when I'm comparing Valera to Jonathan Rodriguez, it's not close to me. So I'm going to take Valera here just in terms of that ceiling. Hey, hopefully he gets healthy and shows what he can do.
Yeah, for sure. All right. That was our 2024 prospect draft. We'll post the rosters on Twitter. You can vote. Let us know in the comments as well. And then tomorrow we'll be back with another position preview. We got one comment to do starting pitchers tomorrow, so we can do that. But if you have a different opinion, if you want us to do a different position preview on Thursday, we can do it as well. So let us know.
Yeah. Thank you for rating and reviewing, dealing with my crotchiness. It was a long day at work. Boy, was it a long day at work. So thank you all for joining us and dealing with me being an old man. Get off my lawn and go Guardians, go.